So dear learners, in this particular video, we will be discussing about the third stage of object oriented design. Okay. So basically there are 5 stages are there. So as per our previous 2 videos, we have already covered stage 1 and stage 2. Is it clear? Okay. So let's start with the third stage, that is the third stage, that is identifying the principal objects here. Okay. So anyway, our approach is object oriented design methodology. So automatically our main building blocks for designing any software system is concerned. Here they are the objects. Okay. Now the question comes here, how to identify these object classes. Is it clear? Okay. So identifying the object class, it's often a difficult part of an object oriented design. We cannot say that it's not so easy. Why? Because if you consider any software system is to be get developed. Okay. So there are so many entities which are involved in that. Okay. And whenever you will start identifying the principal objects which are related to the system that you are planning to develop, it's not simply a magic formula there. Okay. So identifying this principal object, always it relies on the skill set, experience and domain knowledge of that particular system designer. Okay. So his previous experience, how the person is a skilled person, especially with respect to that particular object oriented domain is concerned. Okay. So that particular person will be held responsible for identifying all the necessary principal objects here. Okay. So object identification, basically it's an iterative process. Okay. So whenever you will start identifying any objects, it's not a single stage work actually. Okay. So once you start identifying the objects, it's a continuous process. Okay. You cannot say that it's first time in the very first attempt, it's highly impossible to define all the necessary objects which are required to design your system is concerned. Okay. Because most of the time what happens, as the time lapses, you will be have a better understanding of your system. So automatically you will start getting more and more idea about your system that you are planning to design. So automatically you will come up with different variety of objects. Okay. So moving ahead, just have a look at that. This is a very important topic here, that is the approaches to object identification. So what are the different approaches are there which will help us to identify the objects. So there are 4 approaches that we are going to discuss here very briefly. The very first one is the grammatical approach, which is based on the natural language description of the system. Okay. See, this grammatical approach in the sense what, whenever you will describe any system or any component or any part of that particular system that you are planning to design. Okay. So in our natural language, for example, say we might be using an English language here. Okay. So when I will describe using my this English language as one of the natural language about my particular system or that particular component or any functionality. See, normally in that particular sentence we used to get verbs and nouns there. Is it clear there? Okay. See here, normally wherever we will be coming across these verbs and these nouns, they will be treated as the attributes and operations here, because as all of us know that object is a set of what, attributes and a set of operations. Okay. So wherever you will come across nouns, so that you can treat it as what, an attributes. Okay. And wherever you will come across the verbs, that you can treat them as what, an operations. Is it clear? So like that, by coming across the description of any particular component or any system design or any particular part of that particular system is concerned. Okay. So whenever we will represent that in using any natural language is concerned, so this is the grammatical approach that we are going to apply. Okay. So means we used to find out what are the major verbs and nouns, and we will pick up those things, and those things will be taken as a set of attributes and verbs for any related objects are concerned. Okay. So this is one method, and the second method is also very simple method. So here identification of the tangible things in an application domain. Is it clear there? So normally the things in the sense what, the things tangible things means the things which are physically exist. Is it clear there? So there are so many things that we will come across such kind of things in our domain application is concerned. See, for example, say when I am talking about an educational software is concerned, then college, okay, department, classroom, student, faculty, staff. See there are so many things that we will come across, and we can take all these things as what, as the objects there. Is it clear? And not only the things there, like either it may be a roles, okay, for example, say manager, okay, or head of the HOD or principal, or whatever it may be, or sometimes it may be a kind of what, a meeting, okay, or it may be a kind of conference, okay. So many things that we will come across, the different things which are all related to our application domain, okay. So for example, say you can take any object like a table, chair, okay, or aeroplane, bus. So all these things that you can treat them as what, an object there. Is it clear? Okay. And another approach is the behavioral approach. So actually in case of this behavioral approach, it is based on what, normally the objects will be get identified based on the participates in what behavior. See for example, say when I am talking about a person, okay, a person may be either he might be acting as a parent, or he might be acting as a teacher, faculty. Is it clear there? It depends on his particular role or that particular behavior. Okay, how that particular person is going to participate in that particular overall system is concerned. So with that behavioral approach is concerned, the such kind of the variety of behavioral approach will also help us to identify what the different sort of objects are concerned. And similarly, this scenario based analysis. Okay. See, especially when we are going to describe any component or that part of system with respect to the scenario based analysis or with this description, then it will be very easy to identify the attributes and methods from that particular scenario. Is it clear there? Okay. So just in the following slide, we will be discussing one simple example here. So anyway, with respect to this object oriented design is concerned, we have taken an example of weather station here. Okay. So just have a look at this weather station description here. So this particular description itself will help us to identify the different objects here. Okay. Just you go through this, what exactly the weather station means there. Okay. So the weather station, actually basically it's a package of software controlled instruments, okay, which is responsible for collecting the weather data, and which is going to perform some data processing, and also it is going to transform what, this processed data for further processing. Is it clear? So what are the different instruments which are present in this weather station? The instruments like air and ground temperature, the thermometers, then anemometer will be there, okay, wind vane and barometer, see the rain gauge. These are all the different instruments that are present in that weather station, and from all these variety of instruments, the data will be get collected periodically. So this is what happens in the weather station. Okay. So whenever any command is issued to transmit the weather data, the weather station is going to process and summarizes the collected data, and the summarized data will be get transmitted to the mapping computer center or some centralized computer center, where that data will be collected across a different weather station, and it will be get summarized, okay, or consolidated, so that it will be used for the weather information purpose. Is it clear? So that will be done. So this is what the overall theme of what, the weather station. Okay. So now when we describe this particular weather station with this particular scenario based description over here, is it clear there? Okay. When we start reading this overall the description of the weather station, then automatically we will be getting some different things here. Okay. And these things that we can treat them as what, the principal objects over here. See for example, say if you consider here, just have a look at here, for weather station object classes are concerned. So here the object class identification in weather station system, it may be based on what, the tangible hardware, okay, as well as the data in the system. See, just have a look at there, what are the different hardware instruments that we are using here, that is ground thermometer, anemometer, barometer. So these are all things that we can treat them as what, objects. Okay. Similarly, the weather station itself is what, an object class. Why? Because my weather station is also a kind of component, okay, and that particular component is going to interact with the different surrounding systems. Is it clear there? Okay. That is we have studied one case study in the very beginning in one of the video. Okay. So that is wilderness weather mapping system. Okay. There weather station is a part of that actually. Is it clear? So with this weather station means we are going to interact with the different activities with the weather station, like we can start up the weather station, we can shut down the weather station, okay. So we can reconfigure that particular weather station. So like that, even with weather station also we are going to have a different sort of interaction. So that is why we can treat weather station itself as another object. Similarly, that weather data can also be treated as a object here. So why? Because from the every instrument we are going to collect different types of data like temperature, okay, rainfall, wind speed, pressure. So these are all the variety of different weather related data. So that is why weather data, that we can also treat them as what? An object class here. So all these things that we have derived from what? From this particular description of what? The weather station description. So this is how normally every part of system or any component or the system that we are supposed to design, that should be get described, okay, with which we will be trying to identify the principal objects here. And if you look at this particular name of the principal object, these are all the real time entities which are part of this weather station here. Okay, we are not defining the object classes somewhat different here. Is it clear? So they all looks like a real time entities, okay, which are part of that particular weather station with respect to its domain application is concerned. So these are all the final some of the samples of object classes that we have identified here. So you can observe this is a weather station object class, okay. So the attribute is identifier, and these are all the operations that we can do with the weather station. See there, reporting the weather, reporting the status, okay. So power save mode, my weather station will be operating, okay. We can reconfigure this, we can restart the weather station, we can shut down the weather station. Similarly, with respect to the weather data is concerned, see there. So all the different types of weather data becomes what? The attributes, okay. What are those? Temperature, okay, wind speed, wind direction, pressure, rainfall, and what operation that we can do with the weather data? That is, we can collect the data and we can summarize the data, okay. So this collecting and summarizing, that we are getting it from the description, the previous description of what? That weather station there. So similarly, we can think of every instrument itself is what? An object. See there, okay. See a ground thermometer, anemometer, barometer, okay, and they are all comes with a set of attributes and what? The set of the operations. Is it clear? So this is how we are going to identify the principal object as a part of object oriented design is concerned, okay. Thank you.